Now we have the melting and boiling point. So we know that melting and boiling point depend upon the molecular mass. So what we see is that if we compare 14th group and 15th group, they have actually high melting and boiling point because of the small size. But if we talk about, like, if we move in the group, what we see that melting and boiling point increase, but the increase is seen only up to nitrogen to arsenic. After after arsenic we have antimony. So we see that from antimony to bismuth melting point is decreasing, but from nitrogen to arsenic it is increasing. The reason being because as we move down we know that the size is increasing. That means molecular mass is increasing or molecular size is increasing. Therefore, the forces increase. Therefore, the melting and boiling point is increasing from nitrogen to arsenic because there is increase in the size of the molecule, or you can say there is an increase in the molecular mass. But from antimony to bismuth it actually decreased. The reason being that in antimony and bismuth they make use of only 3 electrons in the bond participation, or you can say bond participation occur only due to participation of these 3 electrons. They are not using their 5 electrons, they are using only 3. So 3 electrons are used, that means they have weaker interactions, and weaker interactions corresponds to lower melting and boiling point. So that means antimony and bismuth are going to possess the low melting and boiling point out of all, and out of antimony and bismuth, bismuth is going to possess very low melting point. The reason being, though they are bigger in size, but actually they are using only 3 electrons in the bond participation, that means the weaker interaction. So that is why the melting and boiling point is less. But if we talk from nitrogen to arsenic, it actually increased because due to increase in the size, right. Next we have is the catenation. So if we compare 14th group and 15th group, that is the carbon family and the nitrogen family, we see that they also show catenation, but up to lesser extent. They show maximum, means they can show catenation to maximum extent in comparison to group 15. So somehow they also show, but actually their bonds are not so strong. We can say that they can, like carbon can link to its own carbon, giving rise to long chains. But here you know that nitrogen can link up to another nitrogen, but not so many nitrogens can link up. As you can see that in hydrazine is a compound where you can see the catenation, in which the nitrogens are linked, but only 2 nitrogens are there. Likewise, we have hydrozoic acid, in which we see that it is 3 nitrogen, right. Like we have azidione, we see that it is N3 negative. So that means they can show catenation, but they cannot link up to many nitrogen like atoms, right. And like if we compare nitrogen and phosphorus, phosphorus show more catenation. And it can form cyclic as well as aliphatic compounds, means it can link up to its own kind of atoms and it can give rise to a cyclic as well as aliphatic compound. But otherwise, if we talk about catenation, the property is just decreasing as we move down because the bond formed between them is not so strong. And we know that if we want the atom or an element to link with its own kind or any other element, there should be a strong linkage, and that is missing here. So that is why they don't show catenation up to that extent. Now allotrophy, you know that allotrophy is a phenomena in which an element has a power to exist into 2 or more forms having the same chemical properties but different physical properties. So we see a allotropy kind of phenomena in 15 group also, right. Nitrogen and bismuth, they don't have any allotrophs. First of all, you have to keep in mind nitrogen, the first member, and the last member, they don't have any allotrophs. Otherwise the other ones have. Phosphorus has allotrophs and it exists in white, black phosphorus and red phosphorus too. And likewise arsenic and antimony, they exist in yellow, arsenic as yellow and grey, and antimony again yellow or silvery grey. So these are the forms actually in which we see that they are actually allotrophs of these elements. So nitrogen and bismuth, they don't show and they don't have allotrophs actually, but phosphorus do have, and that is red, white and black. Phosphorus, arsenic as yellow and grey, and antimony as yellow and silverish grey sort of. So they have allotrophy, they show this kind of phenomena, but nitrogen and bismuth, they don't show allotrophy, right. So now we know that like we are familiar almost of the all physical properties. We'll do with the oxidation state now.